My name is Ruth Raymond, and the people who were supposed to love me unconditionally gave me conditions I never agreed to. I was the eldest, which meant I was the foundation, the one everything was built on, the one nobody thought to check on, the one expected to hold weight without ever being asked if I could bear it. I bore it for 30 years. Then I put it down. Dad, Derek Raymond, was a respected GP in our community, warm to strangers, cold to me. His particular cruelty was comparison. Every conversation about my life became a measuring contest I hadn't entered. When I qualified as a solicitor at 24, he said, Marcus got his MBA at 23. When I bought my first flat, your cousin Deborah bought a house, Ruth, a whole house. When I got engaged, he's decent enough, I suppose. Never once, not one single time, did Derek Raymond look at his eldest daughter and say, well done, without a footnote attached. I used to rehearse achievements in my head before telling him, pre-building defenses against the comparison I knew was coming. That's not a father, that's a judge who never acquits. Mum, Patricia, had a softer weapon, guilt, administered daily in small doses. She'd had a difficult birth with me. She made sure I knew this. Every argument, every boundary I tried to set somehow looped back to that operating table. After everything I went through to bring you here, Ruth. She weaponized her love so consistently that I spent years unable to distinguish real affection from manipulation. When I moved to Manchester for work, she told the extended family I'd abandoned her. When I missed Christmas one year due to a serious work case, she didn't speak to me for 3 months. The cruelest part, when she wanted something from me, the warmth returned instantly, fully, like a tap. I'd feel it and soften every time, because I was so starved of it. Marcus, my brother, was simply Dad's instrument. He'd absorbed Derek's value system completely and wielded it against me with a younger person's sharpness. He borrowed £4,000 from me at 27, swore on everything he'd repay it within 6 months. 2 years passed. When I raised it, he told the family I was obsessed with money and difficult to love. That phrase, difficult to love, landed in me and stayed, because when someone inside your own family says it, part of you believes them. The money never came back. Only Lara, my youngest sister, 22 to my 31, saw any of it clearly. She'd ring me after family gatherings, voice tight with anger on my behalf. Ruth, what Dad said tonight was horrible. You know that, right? Ruth, Marcus is lying. I was there when you lent him that money. She was the single clean thing in a complicated house. I protected her from as much of it as I could. She protected me right back. The breaking point arrived at Mum's 60th birthday dinner. Hired restaurant, extended family, the works. Dad gave a speech, talked about his children, Marcus's career trajectory, Lara's kindness, Patricia's strength. I was mentioned once, and Ruth, who's kept herself busy up in Manchester. Kept herself busy. 30 years, solicitor, partner track, the one who lent money that was never returned, absorbed guilt that was never warranted, swallowed comparisons that were never fair. Kept herself busy. I excused myself, sat in the restaurant bathroom for 4 minutes, made a decision. What my family didn't know was that my firm had been quietly appointed as legal counsel for a property developer purchasing several parcels of land in our borough. Standard commercial work, except one of those parcels included the building where Dad's GP practice had operated for 16 years on a private lease. The developer wanted vacant possession. Legally, cleanly, properly, Dad's lease was not being renewed. I had no obligation to flag it in advance. The notification letter arrived through standard channels. Dad rang me, rattled. "Dad, this developer, they're not renewing. Do you know anything about this?" "It's my case, Dad." Silence. You're handling it." "I am." "Can you not? Is there anything—" "I found him a comparable space 3 streets away. Same size, better parking, lower rate. I negotiated it personally. He can move in March." Another silence. Longer. "Why would you do that, after—" "Because you're still my father." My voice was completely steady. "But I needed you to know that the thing you've spent 30 years underestimating just spent 6 weeks protecting your livelihood without being asked." I heard him breathing. Then, quietly, roughly, like it cost him something significant, "I've not been fair to you, Ruth." First time. 30 years. First time. I also instructed Marcus, through a formally worded letter from a junior colleague, that the £4,000 outstanding debt was being referred for civil recovery. He paid within a fortnight. Mum I handled differently. I simply stopped being available for guilt and started being available for genuine connection. Only. She resisted, then slowly adapted. Lara came to Manchester the next month. We had dinner, just us. "You didn't destroy them," she said, surprised. "No." "You could have." "I know. But I didn't want ruins, Lara. I wanted them to finally understand what they had." She reached across the table and squeezed my hand. That, more than any of it, felt like winning.